Well, I know many of you have been digging out back home, but we offer you clear skies and temperatures in the 70s. Welcome, everybody, to Wrigley Field on the north side of Chicago. Rubber game between the Rockies and the Chicago Cubs. Chance for the Rockies to take a series in Chicago for the first time in 5 years. And upstairs we come with my partner Ryan Spilborghs. I'm Drew Goodman. Yesterday the Rockies ran into Jake Arrieta. They won on Friday night 6-1, and the pitching matchup this afternoon, Tyler Chatwood against the guy the Rockies remember from the 07 World Series, John Lester. And when Chatty is on, you'll see a lot of mishit ground balls.
You're right. 59% of the time he's getting the ground balls, but for me, it's watching him with 2 outs. Against the Giants, 7 of the 11 hits against the Giants came with 2 outs. Hitters are hitting .472 against Chatty with 2 outs, so he has to be better at finding a way to get those guys out. You can see he will throw a good sinker, he'll throw the changeup. He's not going to strike out a lot of guys, but is not walking guys at all.
And John Lester on the other side of things, you see Chatty. There's a ball that went out of the ballpark, and as Spilly mentioned, it's come with 2 strikes and 2 outs typically. John Lester's been around forever. You first saw him Game 4 of the World Series in 2007. He's durable, he's competitive, and last year he punched out more than 200. 207
strikeouts, that's a new Cubs left-handed record. Last year against the Rockies, 14 strikeouts. Again, another franchise record for a left-handed pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. Good cutter, good fastball, can mix it up. He does have a problem throwing to first base, so you'd like to see the Rockies. If you're going to beat John Lester, it's going to be for small ball and forcing him to make some plays.
Was the blueprint perhaps for you for the Rockies on the road this year what occurred on Friday night?
Absolutely. You're going to have to play small ball. You're going to have to get string at bats along. You're going to have to work the walks, get those base hits. You can't count on the slug, but if they do slug, it'd be really nice to see. I don't expect it, though.
All right, well, the Rockies so far off to a nice start on the road. They've won 3 of 5 contests, looking to go 4-2 on a gorgeous day in Chicago. It's the Rockies, it's the Cubs. Come on back to the friendly confines with us. What a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Chicago, Illinois. And the place will be jumping again. Sellout crowd on Saturday. as the Rockies and Cubs get together for the final time at Wrigley this year. That's one of the disappointing things about the unbalanced schedule. You only come to Wrigley Field once. Cubs come to Coors Field one time, and that's it.
That's it. That's all you get. So you might as well make it count.
Yep. You know who's back in the lineup? DJ LeMahieu. He had yesterday off, a little bit of tightness in his groin area, but good to go today. He's hitting .378, 8th best in the game right now. On-base percentage of .439. Here's the Southwest batting order for Walt this afternoon. He'll have Trevor Story in that 2 spot. Cargo, as hot as anybody in the game, hitting .400, 2 for 4 yesterday, including a 2-run 9th inning home run against Travis Wood. Nolan Arenado after that. Gerardo Parra swinging it well. Mark Reynolds. Brandon Barnes getting the start in center field. He'll bat 7th. And Tony Walters will bat 8th in front of Tyler Chatwood. And the aforementioned John Lester is on the mound. 128 wins. Second among left-handers who are active right now, of course, to CC Sabathia.
Well, and here's a guy whose fastball velocity has dropped down quite a bit, but he throws his cutter both sides of the plate. That cutter is a swing and miss pitch. He is as good as it comes with the left-handed cutter.
Let's take a look at the arsenal, the fastball. Again, he's not overwhelming. He just knows how to pitch. Back in '07 when you faced him, there was a little more giddy up on the heater.
Way more giddy up, 95 to 97 miles an hour. He has a little bit of a crossfire, so for a right-hander, when you're watching him throw, it's hard to pick up the baseball. And then when he cuts it in under your hands, pretty much an out. So pay attention to how DJ approaches it, how this right-handed Rockies lineup approaches John Lester today.
Yeah, he's been around a while, but he's still only 32 years of age. Signed a 4-year deal a year ago with the Cubs. Here is the Cubs alignment defensively. Jorge Soler, Dexter Fowler, Jason Hayward back in there. Hayward did not play yesterday until late in the ballgame defensively. Bryant, Javier Baez is at shortstop for Addison Russell this afternoon. Ben Zobrist back in there at second. Anthony Rizzo and David Ross. As we told you yesterday, he would catch back-to-back days. He got the assignment yesterday, but he is Lester's caddy. He always catches John Lester. So here we go. DJ stepping up. You immediately always look to the outfield alignment. And again, the Cubs are not shifting at all against LeMahieu. I mean, Dexter is straight up.
I think when you see a guy like John Lester, you know for a right-hand hitter, you're going to try to pull the occasional fastball. So that is why they're going to allow the outfield shift to play straight up.
1-1 on DJ. He had a 9-game hitting streak to begin this season. Was held hitless on Friday night, 0 for 5. Best month of his career has always been April. Not that the other months have been shabby by any stretch. Last year, he hit over 400 in April. 58 degrees. It feels a lot warmer than that. It's supposed to climb into the low 70s. But if you're standing outside right now, it's t-shirt weather, which is unusual for mid-April in Chicago. That's down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. John Lester coming off a no decision against the Reds, went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs. Won his first outing of the year. And a swing and a miss. Lester cut the ball inside, gets a strikeout on DJ.
You know it's coming. It becomes very difficult to hit because if you pull your hands too far inside, that's a foul ball. And you can see how that fastball just chases DJ LeMahieu right under your hands. Well located pitch. 14 strikeouts last year against the Colorado Rockies. I'd like to see him trim that down today.
Yeah, Trevor Story yesterday struck out his first 3 times against Jake Arrieta. And then in the 9th inning, he faced Travis Wood, and he doubled, his first career double, mind you, down the right field line. So he's carrying that at bat into his thought process as he begins the day today. There's going to be some strikeouts. We told you from the outset, even before the plethora of home runs in his first 6 games, he's a guy who's got a big swing, and he is going to strike out some. He's also going to slug.
I think over the course of time, he's going to trim down on the strikeouts, and you'll start finding where his holes are. And when you have a hole, you end up, it's a good swing right there, base hit by Trevor Story.
Boy, Soler thought Baez was going to catch it. Did you see how late he moved?
Wow.
So Story, a leadoff single, excuse me, a one-out single. Now the Rockies have speed aboard. Look at the swing.
Another cutter inside. Tried to get inside, but it stayed out over the middle, and Trevor Story is so quick. Javier Baez playing shortstop today for Addison Russell, and there you mentioned it.
Hello, we're playing baseball.
Yeah, here he comes.
Now this will be interesting. Trevor can really run. The Rockies stole 4 bases off Lester last year. He allowed 44 stolen bases. That's unheard of for a righty, much less a lefty. He cannot throw to first base, and everybody knows it. That ball skips up there 1-0. Charlie had a couple of them last year. Just really big jumps.
Well, as a base runner, you know he does not want to throw the ball to a base, so you can creep. You can start moving your feet. You can get farther and farther out.
And it's 2-0. So Cargo really locked in. A 21-game hitting streak dating back to last year. He's hitting all 11 this year. Has the major league lead in hits right now. Not over swinging, using the entire ballpark. His home run yesterday, if you missed it in the 9th inning, left on left to left center field, his 4th of the year. Not typically a running count here, 2-0. Story not going, and Cargo fouls it off. Now this is more of a running count, 2-1. Here's the ball he hit out against Wood yesterday's Phillies.
Opposite field home run. Such a pretty swing on a Travis Wood pitch. Down and away. It's just impressive when he's able to get through the baseball and hit the ball opposite field like that. Ball wasn't traveling great yesterday, and that ball was scorched.
Usually travels pretty good though off his bat, doesn't it? Story takes off. Cargo takes low. Throw to second. Not going to get him. Oh, out! Wow! Really? He must have put the tag on him as he slid by. No argument from Story. I thought with the ball in the dirt, Story to the backside, that he had the bag.
Tom Reynolds is going to check with Brian Jones, the Rockies video coordinator. That's a late jump by Trevor Story. He looks back, and as he slides in, Javier Baez with the quick pick and tag. He did get him. That's
he's out.
Heck of a tag by Baez.
Or just good fortune.
You can see on the Subaru Supermo, quick pick, and then the throw allows him to just work the tag on the Trevor Story.
And you described it accurately. That was a really late jump.
Very late jump.
With a lefty, you want to go first move, right?
You want to go first move, and I think in the back of his mind, you still want to think, is he going to home plate? Yes, he's going to home plate.
Cutter's a foul tip. It's 3-2. Cargo 2 for 9 against Lester in his career with a home run. Home run came last year. And Cargo hits it sharply at Baez, and it'll throw him out. So it turns into a 1-2-3 inning despite the base hit by Trevor Story. Tyler Chatwood to the Wrigley Field mound when we return. It's a nice pick by Javier Baez on that stolen base attempt by Trevor Story. That aided him in getting out of that first inning. Dexter Fowler hitting .417, a couple home runs, including a 3-run shot yesterday. He'll lead things off for Joe Maddon. Here's the rest of the Southwest batting order for the Cubs, who are at 9-2. One of the best records in baseball. Jason Hayward, Ben Zobrist, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant in the middle of that lineup. Jorge Soler homered yesterday. Javier Baez will bat 7th. David Ross catching and batting 8th. Then Tyler Chatwood is ready to go. 21-23 in his career. He won at Wrigley Field back in July of 2013.
71% first pitch strike. That's one of the best in baseball.
Mishit ground ball to third, and Nolan on the move throws out his old friend Dexter Fowler. One pitch, one out. Here's the Rockies defense. In left field, Gerardo Parra, Brandon Barnes getting the start in center. Cargo is in right. Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, Mark Reynolds in the infield with Tony Walters back behind the plate. He started Friday night. Dustin Garnell played well yesterday. In fact, he had a double against Jake Arrieta in getting his first start. Once again, Nick Hundley's on the 7-day concussion list. Pitch misses, ball one on Jason Hayward. So he is available to come off after next Thursday. The Rockies return home to face the Dodgers. That's a weekend series. Thursday's an off day after 3 in Cincinnati.
Saw Nick today. He was getting his workout in. He was able to swing the bat, play catch.
And that's good, because anytime there's a concussion, a lot of times guys are asymptomatic until they ratchet it up and are actually, breathing heavier and exercising. And the fact that he, obviously swinging the bat, he's exercising. So the fact that he's doing that is a real good sign. Here's the 1-2 on Hayward. Sliders down low, 2-2.
What's impressed me so far with Tyler Chatwood, the 71% first pitch strike is important, but he has dropped down, averaged in his career 4 walks per 9. It's dropped down to 0.7 walks per 9. That's third lowest in baseball.
And that's mandatory for any pitcher, especially for the Rockies, because you go back last year, nobody walked as many hitters as the Rockies did, and then you're playing 81 games at Coors Field where there's going to be a lot of hits. You understand that. So if you're adding to the traffic, it's a recipe for disaster. 2-2, fastball rides high and away at 93. It's 3-2, 1 out. Rockies do have the shift on. They had it on for Dexter. They have it on for Jason Hayward. Ground ball leaders so far early going. Arrieta. And now Tyler Chatwood with 29. He's going to move ahead of all those guys because this is just his 3rd start. Arrieta obviously has 3 starts under his belt.
So far, this is where Chatwood has had his most difficulty, getting guys to 2 strikes and putting them away. Only 5 strikeouts on the season this year in 12 innings. Hitters are hitting .333 with 2 strikes against Chatty.
And he got him on a riding fastball. So 2 outs, nobody on, as Ben Zobrist will come up.
Chatwood loves to pitch off of his fastball. You can see the run on his fastball and the ability to go up in the zone. If you can't get somebody to strike out with an off-speed pitch, being able to go not only east to west on the pitch is going north to south, being able to elevate, pitching in that upper outside quadrant.
Outside on Zobrist, who's in an 0 for 17 slide. Got the day off yesterday from his longtime manager, Joe Maddon. Maddon managed him with the Tampa Bay Rays. And this ball is hit pretty well left center field, but Parra's over there, and it's a 1-2-3 beginning for Tyler Chatwood. So we'll go to the second, no score. Chatwood matched up with John Lester at Wrigley. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Lake Michigan in the background. Busy spot on the weekend. In fact, if you look carefully, you can see joggers, bikers. Traffic goes by. Here's Nolan, top of the second inning. And that's at the knees for a strike. Nolan has faced John Lester only twice, 2 official at bats, 0 for 2.
Well, I think Lester is a perfect type of pitcher for Nolan, who's so quick inside.
Yeah, he can beat the cutter and keep it on the barrel, can he?
He can. If there's any right-hander that can handle that inside pitch, and it's known. Even off the plate inside, he can handle it.
Staves off that pitch wisely inside. It's 2-1. And this ball's in the air to deep center field, but Fowler is there, 1 out. Gerardo Parra coming up. We'll remind you, you can join in on the conversation. Send us thoughts, photos, statements to your favorite social media platform. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk and you'll be on board. It's Toyota Talk. We do it every night and every afternoon. Gerardo Parra is hitting .424 in his last 8 ball games here at Wrigley Field. Always seems to swing the bat well historically against Chicago pitching. He's off to a real solid start for the Rockies at 300.
I was a little surprised to see Parra in the lineup today just because it was a lefty versus Parra swinging left-handed, and I thought maybe you'd see Ryan Rayburn, but Walt Weiss talked about how yesterday there's a ball hit down the foul line where he tripped over the bullpen and said he was going to give Rayburn the day off today. He's available, but wasn't feeling great. And last year, Ryan Rayburn had the OPS over 1,000 against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, so he's pretty sore today. That's strike 3 on Parra, called by Vic Carapazza. Excuse me, strike 2 on Parra, called by Vic Carapazza. Now there's Ryan Rayburn, who's celebrating his 35th birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Tommy Runnels celebrating a birthday also. A little older, though, than Ryan. And that gets away for a moment and on the move, and it's not caught by Rizzo. So the Rockies get a 1-out base runner. I don't know what happened with Rizzo there. I don't know if he was worried about Parra coming down the line. That looked like a real catchable ball.
Lester gets the strikeout on the slider in the dirt. David Ross jumps off, has to make a sidearm throw, and Rizzo just whiffed it.
It's an error on Rizzo, and it ought to be. So it's a strikeout. You don't see that much. Strikeout E3, allowing Parra to reach. And now Mark Reynolds will come up. And Parra's a threat to run. Rockies are going to push the envelope, you know, with Lester. It's fouled off.
I was talking to Chris Warren, that's the Rockies advanced scout that travels with the Rockies, and he was saying that John Lester has been working on a snap throw. So that is a throw where Lester will step off and rather than lift his leg and try to pick the first, he'll just step off and throw it quickly.
It's amazing when you talk about a guy who's accomplished all he has over a decade at this level, not to mention minor league baseball and growing up, you know, how he's not been able to
figure it out.
I mean, it's inexplicable. 44 stolen bases. The other guys obviously are going to be right-handed. That's a bunch. Tyson Ross, 36. It's power guys. AJ Burnett, they're not going to slide step. And Reynolds went around. So Mark Reynolds got on 3 pitches. That's 3 strikeouts as Brandon Barnes comes up. Parra already has 3 stolen bases out there at first. Barnes just 1 career at bat against John Lester, 0 for 1. And look, it's wild. Watch Rizzo. There goes Parra. And why not? Rizzo wasn't holding him. Out there also, David Ross, 2 for 2. That was wild because Anthony Rizzo wasn't even holding him on. Parra's still standing at second base. And I don't know if he's just waiting for his glove or he thinks he was safe. Let's see. Oh, you know what? He did the old swim technique, and I think he believes that the tag was missed. That can't tell anything there.
This time Zobrist with the pick, and after David Ross threw him out, you'd see on the Subaru Supermo, quick tag on his shoulder, and they called him out.
The Rockies 0 for 2 trying to run on the combination of Lester and David Ross so far. Middle of 2, no score.
No score at Chicago. Gerardo Parra was having words with Clint Fagan. That's the first base umpire saying that Anthony Rizzo is in his lane as he's trying to get a lead. He starts walking and steals. And after that section, you can see he's telling him, Clint, he's in my lane. I can't get a good lane. And then he takes off. So that was his argument in between innings as Anthony Rizzo takes a first pitch strike.
Should he have shut it down based on the fact that he was, you know,
you weren't paying attention?
Like a walking lead.
He probably should have shut it down.
Brandon Barnes in center field will make the play, and Rizzo's retired. Well, you know, if you're the Rockies, I would keep pressing the issue.
You got to keep, if you're going to get on base, you're going to have to challenge John Lester to throw the ball over the first or get a bigger lead and get that bag. It's going to be hard to string hits against John Lester. Especially, we've seen Nolan hit the ball to center field pretty hard. The ball's not traveling very well right now.
Chris Bryant fires at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Bryant celebrating his 1-year anniversary as a big leaguer. Famously last year, the Cubs, so as not to accelerate the process of him reaching his arbitration years, kept him in the minors for a couple of weeks. And last year on this date, he made his Major league debut, he struck out 3 times at 4 at-bats, but that's not unusual because when he made his pro debut after coming out of the University of San Diego as a top pick, he went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts in the Northwest League.
Welcome to pro ball.
Welcome to pro ball.
3 strikeouts is a hat trick. 4 strikeouts is the golden sombrero. 5 strikeouts, you gotta name it something.
Yeah, you don't even have a name for it.
Don't have one.
An awful day. Two and 2 on Bryant. Jam shot popped up right side. Reynolds is there, 2 outs. Boy, he got in the kitchen with that fastball. Then it's the great late movement. We spent so much time, Spilly, talking about MPH, Beeler, but for you guys, man, it's all about late movement, isn't it?
Late movement. If you can get the baseball to move off the plane of our swing, that's all that matters. And for velocity, it takes 1 or 2 pitches for us to time it up.
Soler takes a strike. Jorge, a home run yesterday. Had a good series. He set a major league record last postseason with the Cubs. His first 9 at-bats in the postseason, he reached. Ever heard anything like that?
No. That's great. Good for him.
There's the 1-1. And right back to Chatty. He can do it himself. Flips over to Mark Reynolds. Another real good, strong inning from Tyler Chatwood. So he moved to the 3rd no score. Top of the 3rd, bottom 3rd of the order for the Rockies. Barnes, Walters, and Chatwood. It's time for our timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. In front of 18,000 folks on opening day in 1951, Sam Snead tees off from home plate, hits the scoreboard at Wrigley using a 4-iron, and then he put that in his bag, took out a 2-iron, and he cleared the 89-foot scoreboard. That's like a wedge now for guys.
I didn't think anybody could hit a 2-iron.
That's a 1-iron.
Oh yeah, even God can't hit a 1-iron, right?
That's right. According to Lee Trevino, or is that Chichi Rodriguez? Big swing from Barnes, and he fouled it back. And Barnes hits a fly ball to shallow left, and Soler comes in and makes a catch. You know, the Rockies are 3-2 so far on the road, and Here's a look at some of their offensive numbers, and you hope this continues. I don't think you're going to slug 506 the whole year out on the road, but in comparison, again, small sample size, but in comparison to last year, 14th out of 15 teams in road slugging percentage. 3.5 runs a game this year, averaging 5.6 runs a game, 5th best in the National League in the early going. Batting average, 275. And you played for the Rockies for a long time. Historically, there's 23 years of data. The Rockies do not hit on the road. We understand that there's factors going from altitude to sea level and so forth. But early on, the Rockies are competing offensively at a much higher level on the road.
I think what it comes down to is you just understand that on the road you're not going to slug. I see that first place in slugging right now, it doesn't sustain. It doesn't stay that way. You have to play your games in San Diego, in San Fran, in LA. It's hard to hit there at night. You have to play small ball. You have to take quality at bats. You have to find ways to get on base, just like this.
And look at that, Tony Walters, that's all he does. He gets knocked when he gets an opportunity to play. He has been just terrific, and he's another guy that can run. So a 1-out single. You have Chatwood coming up. This is where Walt likes to get creative.
Well, the approach for Walters is just so good. It's nice. It's easy. He is not taking a crazy swing trying to drive the ball out of the yard. And that's just a topspin volley over Ben Zobrist.
I say this all the time, and I know you did when you were in the dugouts, Billy. Know who you are in this game.
Stay in your lane. You're right. Stay in your lane. If you know what you are, this game becomes not easier, but you can be more successful.
Chatwood pulls it back. It's in there for a strike. Tyler handles the bat well. Rockies did a great job executing bunts on Friday night in their victory. Pulls it back and takes inside. And it's now prominent on the scouting report when you play the Rockies and the pitcher squares around. The Rockies slug bunt more than any team in baseball.
Well, they haven't been good at getting the sacrifice bunt down yet. So if you can handle the bat, if you can put the ball in play, this is a great play to be able to pull back and hit it.
I watched Bryant. He dropped back, but it's a line shot over his head. So Chatwood with a sharp single, and now you have 2 on for the top of the order, and DJ LeMahieu with 1 out. Watch Bryant. This all goes back to scouting report.
You know that the Rockies are going to want to try to get the ball in play for John Lester. Lester's going to throw strikes, and Chatty just taking a nice, easy swing because Bryant's trying to creep to prevent John Lester from having to field the ball. That's why they're getting closer.
But he also backed up at the end because he's wary of the fact that the Rockies, you know, slash or slug bunt, however you want to describe it in the baseball vernacular. So now DJ up there. Boy, Walters looking like he could swipe third. That's fouled off. Walters has a large lead. And you have a lefty on the mound. It's easier to swipe third against a lefty than it is a righty. You kind of get in that blind spot, Billy, right?
It is easier to steal against a lefty, but you're still in a situation where you might want to bunt because the infielders won't come crashing down to help John.
Slowly hit right at the bag. That's a bad break. It turns into a 6-3 double play. So the Rockies have 2 on, cannot capitalize. Middle of 3, still no score at Wrigley. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Wells Fargo, customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Jack in the Box, taste the Jumbo-licious Jumbo meal before it's gone, only at Jack in the Box. Many beautiful sights in Chicago. When they refer to it, Spilly, as the Windy City, it's because the wind does blow here, but it has nothing to do with that. It was a political reference many years ago that all the politicians spoke so much.
But it is windy here.
It is windy, so it has a double application, a double entendre, if you will, right?
I don't know what that means.
Javier Baez fouls one off at the plate. It's 0-1. Baez, in his return to the big leagues yesterday, 2 for 4, playing second base for Zobrist. He's playing shortstop this afternoon for Addison Russell. We saw him hit a home run against Jorge De La Rosa 2 springs ago that almost went over the batter's eye in center field at Salt River Field.
He takes a healthy swing. And Joe Madden was talking about making sure with the high maintenance swing like Baez has to make sure he gets 2-3 starts a week.
And they can use him in a lot of spots. They added outfield to his to-do list in the spring. Play everywhere in the infield, and he can play the outfield. And he does take a vicious hack.
I think when you think of high maintenance, you think of a lot of moving parts, and Javier Baez has a lot of moving parts. He has kind of a hitch, so he allows the bat to create a pretty severe angle by tilting it forward. There's a little bit of a leg kick in there. So for him, timing is key.
Full count on Baez. See Javi with that addition to his helmet. He got hit in the head in the minor leagues last week. Swung on a miss. 2 strikeouts for Tyler Chatwood. What a performance by Jake Arrieta yesterday. 8 shutout innings against the Rockies. He's down 3-0 this year. And he set some Chicago Cub history and Major League history yesterday. He's now got 48 2/3 shutout innings at Wrigley Field. It's the longest home shutout ever at Wrigley since it opened in 1914. It's the longest streak in baseball at home since Ray Herbert 62-63 at the White Sox. But he also became the first pitcher in Major League history, the first note, to go 6 straight home starts without allowing a run.
Wow.
I mean, Oral Hershiser, even during the great run, the Bulldog didn't do that.
I think the part that impressed me, besides his stuff, was how he commands the circle, how he gets on the clay circle, and he owned it.
Well, I guess if you had his stuff and his command, he sauntering around that circle, as you call it, with great confidence. He's something else. David Ross, you see Arrieta saying, boy, it was easy for me yesterday. Walter's good frame, just missed. 2-2. This morning, he probably went through his routine. A couple hours of Pilates, a couple hours of stretching.
It's amazing how Pilates has really transferred his physique.
Another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chatwood, and that'll bring up Lester.
Fan Fridays are new in 2016, and the first Fan Friday of the year is April 22nd. The first 5,000 fans will receive a Colorado Rockies pocket T-shirt. So is that a T-shirt that's going to...
Yeah. Wait, run that back again?
That's what it says. Fans will receive a Colorado Rockies pocket T-shirt. So it's a T-shirt with a pocket in it.
Oh,
not a pocket-sized T-shirt.
That's what I was confused on. So, well, what good is a T-shirt if it just fits in my pocket?
Well, pocket size for you is a nice T-shirt.
It's like a double XL, right? Outside 2-0 on Lester. A T-shirt with a pocket. So now I'm with you. Put a pen. You put like.
You have me too. I'm reading it. I was reading it and I go, "Is this right?"
You know what? And then the next promotion, which is something that you like to use, is we get the pocket protector.
That's right. Yes, for us nerds.
Yes, you always wore a pocket protector when you were matriculating at UCSB, didn't you?
Nothing wrong with that. You got to protect your pockets from pinning.
He went 2-2. 2-2 on Lester with 2 outs.
I just realized that I will read anything that is in front of me.
Okay, but that you have to be careful with that. 3-2.
Ron Burgundy.
It's your broadcasting idol.
Yeah. Stay classy, San Diego.
That's strike 3, and he struck out the side. Chatwood on his game as we go to the 4th. The Rockies and Cubs scoreless. Chatwood 9 up, 9 set down. 4 strikeouts along the way also.
Pocket protector, Spilly, then. Tell you what, I was hoping to be a starter in that game where Ubaldo was pitching, but Dexter Fowler played center field, and I guarantee you, if I was playing center field, Ubaldo had a one-hitter because Dexter ran in center field and made this unbelievable catch to save the no-hitter.
That was a phenomenal catch. That was a phenomenal night. Brian McCann made the final out on a 97-mile-an-hour sinker. Trevor Story had a sharp single to left his first time up. Leading off in front of Carlos Gonzalez and Nolan Arenado in the 4th inning. Rockies have 3 hits in the ball game. They've had 2 caught stealings and a double play ground ball. Story out front. Walt was asked a number of questions before the ball game about Story and the high volume of strikeouts, and he said, I would be concerned if the strikeouts were coming in situations where, you know what, we've got to get the ball in play, that type of situation. Also, if I saw a change in the approach, and he said, I haven't seen a change in the approach. He said, he went to right field with a double late in the ball game yesterday. Said, I like his approach. I like how he's going to the plate. Boy, another check swing called a strike. Clint Fagan says he went around. That's 4 strikeouts now for Lester. Fans of the Rockies score 7 or more. You know the drill. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Make sure you do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Cargo ground ball to short his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. And a called strike. Another one, yeah.
Use the curveball to change a hitter's eyesight, and Lester right there just throwing one. It may not seem, when you look at the Subaru strike zone, that it looks right down the middle, but for a hitter it feels like it's nowhere near the strike zone.
Did you more often than not automatically in an 0-2 count look away?
You have to. And the reason why is it allows you to stay on the off-speed pitches for longer. You always hear hitters talk about the importance of establishing in. By establishing the inside part of the strike zone, it changes our perception. It makes us look inside. If you look inside, anything off speed or outside the plate, the hitter's not going to be able to adjust to it.
They tried to go away twice, and now Cargo's back in the count, 2-2. Dexter shading him a little bit toward left center field, and that's well inside. 3-2. You know, with good hitters, a lot of times it's easier to get to 2 strikes than it is to get that third one. So how locked in Cargo is right now. Nolan on deck, 1 out, nobody on. 3-2 on Gonzalez. Got back out again.
David didn't even put a sign down. He's just sitting there forcing Cargo to make him step out.
Strikeout number 5 for Lester as Nolan will come up. Seems like every 10, 15 years a new pitch or at least a new twist on a pitch comes around. I remember Bruce Sutter started throwing that split finger, and then in the last 25 years, this ball's hit a long way to left. Get up and get out. Long fly ball. Soler leaps. It's in the basket. Home run, Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies take a 1-0 lead on the 5th big fly for Nolan this year. And you called it at the top of the broadcast. You said Nolan does not have a lot of at-bats against Lester, and you thought his stuff would play well with Nolan's ability to turn on an inside pitch.
Well, for his 75th career home run, I thought that Lester would try to challenge Nolan inside, and nobody handles the inside part of the plate better in baseball than Nolan Arenado.
Soler just ran out of room. Outside, ball 1. So the Rockies up 1-0. Major League leading 15th RBI as well for Nolan. He led baseball last year with 130. He came into the ballgame tied with Bryce Harper for the big league lead this year with 14. It's also his first Wrigley Field home run.
Many times you hit a ball out at Wrigley Field, the bleacher creatures will take the ball and throw it back. And so as a player, you get your baseball. That one landed in the basket, and no one's going to be able to grab that ball because of where the auxiliary scoreboard is.
This ball on the ground to Rizzo. And he flips to left. The truth be told, though, a lot of those guys out there in the bleachers, the real veterans, they throw a fake ball back so they don't take a lot of heat from their neighbors, and then they keep the real ball. So the ball you get may be some like official ball they picked up at a sporting goods store that morning.
That's absolutely right.
Nolan goes yard. Rockies have a 1-0 lead. The objects to put the ball in the basket. In baseball at Wrigley Field, the objects to put the ball in the basket or beyond. And Nolan Arenado just put one in the basket in left field. Rockies have a 1-0 lead. Chatwood against Dexter Fowler, and the curveball's in the dirt, ball 1. Jenny Kaffnar tweeting. Jenny, basket catch on the Ivy. Nolan home run, and it helps on Spilly Goat's prediction. That was a really efficient tweet. You have 140 characters. Jenny got it done like 60 characters.
That's why she's the best.
1-2 on Fowler. Dexter hit a weak ground ball to Arenado his first time up. Nolan the only Rocky on the left side of the infield. And now he'll slide even further to his left to basically a shortstop double play position. Good look at the Rockies defensive alignment.
Andy Green, that's the Padres' new manager, was talking about this shift and saying that nobody in baseball runs the shift that the Rockies have right now with Nolan playing short. And he was asking me if I knew why the Rockies were able to do that, and I go, personnel. Nobody has a Nolan Arenado that can play short/third.
Strike 3, another caught looking. That's 4 straight strikeouts, 3 backward Ks in a row by Chatwood, 1 out in the 4th.
Started him off with the curveball, then works back to the fastball. The run on his fastball is impressive today, and Tony Walters being able to just catch that ball and bring it right back. Dexter doesn't like it.
It's really quiet back there. Walters is. 5 strikeouts in the first 2 starts for Tyler Chatwood. He's got 5 in this ball game. Chatty is looking nice so far. And Hayward takes a strike. Jason Hayward struck out swinging on a high fastball on the outer third of the plate. And Hayward hits it back to Chatwood, 2 outs. When he's on, we say this all the time, you'll see a lot of really mishit ground balls. Just dubbed ground balls.
In 2013, a full season, 59% ground ball rate, 2nd in baseball. So far this year, he's at 59% again. Love seeing it. He does have a lot of run on his baseball.
Here's Ben Zobrist. He probably had the hardest hit ball of the game for Chicago. It's not hard to look back because there hasn't been much by the Cubs. He takes a strike, hit a line drive to left and the first inning that Parra caught. One of 2 balls that have been hit out of the infield. Rizzo hit a fly ball to center field his first time. This is an easy play out left again for Parra. And a 1-2-3 4th inning for Tyler Chatwood. Rockies have a 1-0 lead on the home run by Nolan Arenado. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Rockies leading 1-0 on a gorgeous day in Chicago, and you don't see this too often. A guy on a ladder in the middle of the ball game out by the wall to get the baseball, and you think, okay, maybe Nolan will get it. First Wrigley Field home run. No, he threw it to his buddy, and they're going to be playing at Lincoln Park after the game.
That hurts in the team store for sale already.
Yeah. Mark Reynolds at the plate, and Mark gets broken bat ground ball to Chris Bryant. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that'll bring up Brandon Barnes. So we were talking an inning ago about, it seems like each decade or so there's a pitch that either gets more perfected or becomes one that is prominently thrown. The splitter in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, Mike Scott threw it as a starter. You had Jose Mesa throwing it. Of course, Bruce Sutter, a Hall of Famer, famously threw it. Well, the last, 10, 12 years, especially like the last 5 years, tail end of your career, Spilly, everybody throws the cutter now.
It was the left-handed pitchers that started throwing it. Because
Al Leiter, right?
Al Leiter, I think it just became more and more famous because of Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera, the most famous guy to throw, but from a starter standpoint, it was Al Leiter.
It was Al Leiter started throwing it. Once John Lester got into the big leagues, he started throwing it. Even guys, Tom Gorzolani, somebody that you would think is typically a sinker, changeup pitcher from the left-handed side, started throwing it.
2 balls and a strike on Barnes.
Clayton Kershaw's career took off once he was able to throw a pitch inside to righties, and that was his slider. His slider just way more movement than a cutter, but same type of feel.
2-1. 2-2. And visually, you hope on a slider, take a screws, that you see the red dot. But with a cutter, what are you seeing visually?
You're seeing a little bit of a variance in what you consider a 4-seam spin. And so just enough tilt, and you're just watching it come right in under your hands.
Vic Carapazza getting a lot of exercise throwing punches into the air. Another called strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Lester.
Well, that's what the effect of the cutter, being able to throw it in. He throws it on the outside part of the plate, and it freezes up Brandon Barnes. David Ross behind the plate, just working it. David Ross, when he's behind the plate with John Lester, Lester has a 3.01 ERA. Anyone else, 3.87. You can see why David Ross is John Lester's personal caddy.
This ball's bunted in the air right back to Lester by Walters, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth inning. The Rockies leading on the big fly from Nolan Arenado, 1-0 on the north side. As we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, Tyler Chatwood, in a word, has been outstanding.
That is a great word for what he's been able to do. Fastball's been running all over the place. He's been pitching up in the zone, getting first pitch called strikes. And the problem that he's been having has been getting guys out with 2 strikes. He is doing it today. 476 batting average coming into the game with 2 outs. That's going to drop. 333 batting average with 2 strikes. That's going to drop. You want to see that from Tyler Chatwood.
And Patrick Saunders, our buddy from the Denver Post, he's very accurate with that. He works very quickly, and he, as Billy was describing, is pounding the zone with great movement. First pitch misses there to Anthony Rizzo. He hit a fly ball to center field his first time up. Rizzo homered yesterday to get Chicago on the board. Christian Bergman did a really good job, and Soler homered against him right behind it. That's all Bergman would give up in 5 strong innings. This ball's in the air to deep right. Cargo near the wall, slides, makes the catch. What a wonderful play by the 3-time Gold Glover. That was not as easy as he may have made that look because of the wall.
There is always fear when you're playing right field or left field at Wrigley Field because of the foul ball and because of where the brick wall is. You can see as Cargo was getting closer and closer to the baseball, he knew if I slide, I can catch it and prevent myself from running headfirst into that thing. Great play.
Now Chris Bryant with 1 out. Strike on the outside corner.
Chris Bryant's dad was drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 9th round, and in 2 spring trainings with the Red Sox was able to learn from Ted Williams, and the Science of Hitting was Mike Bryant's favorite book. And so for years he's been training Chris Bryant to hit with a slight uppercut. Another guy he's worked with out of Las Vegas is Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo has an uppercut also, and both of these guys hit him as far as anybody in baseball. Joey Gallo's pop is second to nobody. I mean, stupid pop.
Stupid pop. Well, one of the lines in the Science of Hitting was hit the ball in the air and hit it hard. And Chris Bryant, as a kid, loved hitting home runs.
Chris Bryant has the frame to do it. He's 6'5" and about 240 pounds. He's a big, strong guy. It's funny, you read about guys the first time you see them up close. Bryant's actually bigger than you think he's going to be.
He's 6'5".
Just missed 1 and 2.
Well, I asked Chris if he'd ever met Ted Williams because of the connection between his father Mike and Ted. And he said no, but his dad does carry around the science of hitting everywhere he goes.
Swung on and missed. Chatwood with his 6th strikeout. He gets Bryant to chase. 2 outs in the 5th.
Chatwood is working both sides of the plate. That's a slider off the corner. You get Chris to start chasing the pitches that go off the corner. And it was set up by the fastball 1 pitch before inside.
Soler takes a slider for a strike.
I was joking with Tyler Chatwood before the game because Anthony Rizzo has his own cereal. And I said, you're going to face him today. Do you want to eat his own cereal? You might be able to get him out.
His response?
I'm not going to eat that stuff. Well, Rizzo started this Anthony Rizzo Foundation, and the cereal is going to charity. And as I was walking throughout Wrigley Field, people were saying, you got the Rizzos.
Here's the cereal box. Good looking box.
Cereal tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
I like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yep. Reminds me of the Flutie Flakes.
That's a strike.
Nice.
Soler just backed out. Time was not granted, and it is 2 and 2. But, you know, that's a cardinal sin. And good for Chatwood just to make sure he continued and fed the strike zone. 3 and 2, cutter away.
You don't step out of the box until the umpire grants you timing. Think back to Bo Jackson when he held his hand up. You remember that play, Drew? Hand up, time. The guy throws it, hits a homer out to center.
Well, Bo Jackson did things differently, didn't he? Here's the 3-2. And the first base runner of the game for Chicago. After retiring the first 14 this afternoon, Chatwood loses Soler on a 3-2 pitch. And this is a wise move way beyond his years by Tony Walters. Because you know what? Okay, he was perfect into the 2 outs in the 5th inning. Go out there and, you know, just help him refocus for a moment. In a 1-0 game, I thought, what a wise move by Walters. Again, he hasn't caught for very long.
No, he hasn't, but I think he understands the game. And that could go back to him being a shortstop. Many times a shortstop will do the same thing. They'll come in from their position and try to settle down the pitcher based on the situation.
Javier Baez. And that misses ball 1. Walt was saying to the media gathering yesterday about Tony Walters after he had a solid performance on Friday night. He just has a really high baseball IQ. Probably has a high IQ to begin with. He's a smart kid, but he gets it. He gets it. He understands. He understands what's going on around him, which is true of a lot of middle of the field players. Shortstops, second basemen, certainly catchers. And I'll even throw you in that group as a center fielder.
You know what? Center fielders, maybe. Corner outfielders, we work on our swing.
Sometimes, well, you're out in the outfield. Which takes me to another story. And this is part of having high baseball IQ. Walt Weiss, who was as cerebral as anybody going when he played. Sometimes when you have a guy that plays in the infield, in the middle infield, and he's struggling at the plate, maybe he had the last at bat in the previous inning, and he's thinking, and it was a bad at bat, and he's thinking about it. If you get a guy on early, you can delay steal, do something where you catch him napping because he's still thinking about what happened on offense as opposed to refocusing and being where he needs to be defensively.
And that's the stuff that separates really smart baseball players from the guy that just got picked off thinking about his swing.
2 outs, 2-2. Soler at first, and Baez fouls it into the second deck. It is impossible, Spilly, to foul it into the third deck at Wrigley.
Yeah, you're right. There isn't a third deck.
Foul it over the roof, though. Two and two, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. The Rockies ahead 1-0 on a Nolan Arenado home run. He's one of those guys who gets wound up. That's why he generates so much power. But Billy, once he gets going, it's hard for him not to go.
That is why he strikes out a ton too. But you talk about the home run that he hit in spring training. Remember, his first home run was at Coors Field into the bullpen. A lot of torque he creates with his swing.
He's a tremendous athlete. He's got great hands defensively. Cubs are loaded with position players. This ball is a base hit to left. First knock of the day for Chicago. So after 4 2/3 of perfect baseball, Chatwood gives up the walk to Soler, and Baez breaks up the no-no with a solid single to left.
See where this pitch is. It's a slider out over the plate. And Baez is able to untwist and uncork his swing. To me, it goes back to the at-bat with Soler. Chatty had him with 2 strikes. He wasn't able to finish him off with the pitches off the corner.
He struck out David Ross looking back in the third. And that's a ball, 1-0. David Ross first got to the big leagues in 2002 with the Dodgers. And a ground ball to short. And the Rockies handled that one, no problem. So a walk and a hit, nothing else across. And the Rockies lead 1-0 as we go to the 6th. Take a look at our first bank game recap. This has been a pitcher's duel between Tyler Chatwood and John Lester, and Chatwood right now slightly outperforming Lester. Lester gave up the home run to Nolan Arenado. The perfect game was broken up last inning on a walk on a 3-2 pitch by Jorge Soler, and then a base hit by Baez broke up the no-hitter. Chatwood has been sensational so far as we go to the 6th inning. Now watch this. This is the first pitch to David Ross after the base hit, and Chatty thought it's right down the middle. It was well received by Walters. Chatwood talked to Vic Carapazza walking off. Nothing, you know, he didn't yell at him. And Walt came out to talk to Vic Carapaz, and again, in a conversational manner. And Carapaz, you could tell with his hand, was saying he felt like maybe the ball was lifted a little bit by Walter, which subtly all catchers are going to do.
You're right, but certain umpires don't like it if it feels like they are grabbing the ball and really moving it towards the strike zone.
Over manipulate.
Exactly.
So that's what that conversation was about during the commercial break. Chatwood, you know, I thought both times he's talked to Vic Carapaz, I think a couple different innings coming off, he did it in the right way. You know, you start pointing fingers and barking at him, that's not going to fly.
Waving your arms from the mound.
Chatty had a sharp base hit on a slug bunt to left his first time up. 1-2 on Chatwood. LeMahieu and Story to follow. Rockies up 1-0. And that is the 7th strikeout for John Lester. Now, Walters was in on that conversation with Chatwood. There's a way of going about doing things. Take us 3 times at the plate where you may ask an umpire, hey, you know,
where's that pitch?
Where's that pitch? As opposed to, what, are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's a way of doing it. You can establish where you feel your strike zone is. I have that inside. I have that off the plate. I have that 2 inches off the plate. And the umpire will say, no, that's a good pitch. It's right there.
How many times would an umpire acknowledge, you know what, I may miss that one? Does it happen?
It happens. It's very rare. I remember Jim Joyce in San Diego. Luke Gregerson struck me out on a 3-2 slider where the crowd was going crazy. And I argued. I said, that's not a strike. The next day, Jim Joyce pulls me out as I'm running out to left field and goes, Spilly, you're right. I missed that play last night. I'm sorry. It came off the plate.
Well, Jim Joyce and a lot of these guys notorious for it. They'll look, especially if they're behind the plate, they'll review the game. The game is reviewed by in New York, by the supervisors. This ball sliced foul over the head of Eric Young. So it's not like that, you know, they're done with it. They get graded every game.
And they're not trying to mess it up.
No.
They don't want, they understand what's at stake here. Guys' livelihood, this is how guys provide for their families. This is how players make their living. In a called strike 3, even though it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, if you're 0 for 10, if you're 0 for 15 and you're a bench player, that's a lot of pressure riding on each at bat.
2-2. And that is strike 3. LeMahieu didn't much like the call. I thought it was down and away.
In the Subaru strike zone, you can see it's right on the corner. Lester has been throwing the cutter on the outside part of the plate and has been trying to work it back. David Ross does not move, and that's why you can see David Ross, when he's off the plate, puts his body way outside on the strike zone, and so anything that runs back, it looks like he's reaching back towards the plate, and it looks more for Vic like it's a strike.
Story, a single and a strikeout on a check swing. And that's inside 1-0. Story out front a little bit. And it's 1-1. You know what happened 40 years ago today at Wrigley Field?
No idea.
Michael Jack Schmidt, a great third baseman of all time, the Hall of Famer, hit 4 home runs here. The Phillies were down 13-2 in that game, came back and won 18-16. They went for 2 late, and they won 18-16. Why are you giving me that perplexed look?
I'm trying to remember that game.
How would you remember? You weren't born.
Yeah, but I watch highlights of old games.
4 bombs in a game.
That's pretty sweet.
Marty,
catch,
nice
Marty.
catch. Good baby.
Hands hurt. Oh. Rub some dirt on it.
It's because he's got his wedding ring on. It always pinches a little bit. It stings a little bit. 1-2 on Story. Straight off the curveball, 2-2. Rockies leading Major League Baseball in slugging percentage at .542 coming in. Extra base hits with 52. Kind of work together. And the Rockies lead at 1-0 on a Nolan Arenado home run back in the 4th inning. Three and 2 on Story.
Well, Story's seen every single pitch that Lester's had to throw this at bat. He's seen the changeup. We haven't seen many changeups. We know he'll throw the cutter in. He's been throwing a backdoor cutter, trying to throw it away and letting it run back over the plate. He's been throwing the curveball.
Fastball away. Fastball with cut on it.
Gear up for the 2016 season at your local Rockies dugout store, the place for all things Rockies. Get your Trevor Story jersey. Oh, those are not cool.
Unless you're in Chicago.
You only wear those once.
3-2 again, and that's hooked into the seats foul. As we depart today, I may buy you a pair of those. Some little gift for you to go to Cincinnati with.
Yeah. Looking forward to Cincinnati.
The Natty.
First major league start was in Cincinnati.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Ball 4. Good at bat for Story. So Story walks. That's the first walk issued by Lester. Grabbed the baseball in disgust when it was returned to him by David Ross, and now he'll have to face Carlos Gonzalez.
Lester came into today's game with a whip of .85. The Chicago Cubs lead all baseball with their starting staff with a whip well below 1.
Yeah, their whip is .094, which is the best in baseball. That's as a staff.
And that's walks and hits per innings pitch. Whip.
League average is around 1.3. That's outside. Good take. Cargo on the road is at 10 down in Arizona, 9 here at Wrigley Field. And the next place he and the Rockies are going, Great American. He's got 7. He hit 3 in one ball game there a few years ago on getaway day.
That is a really big lead for Trevor Story. Lester has to step off.
Well, I noticed that usually you're going to shut your lead down by about a half a step against a lefty. You don't have to, because Lester, again, he can't throw to first for whatever reason.
That is a humongous
Enormous. lead. Eli goes over and counsels Story. You got obviously a guy who can make it 3-0 really quickly. There's 2 outs. The Rockies are 0 for 2 trying to swipe second, but in a 1-0 game, with 2 outs, you go for it and hope you can get a base hit behind.
They are daring John to throw over there. Yeah.
Now he's painted the outside corner. It's 1-2. Again, Vic Carapazza, one thing you know going in, he's had a big zone. He's had a liberal zone today. But you know that at this juncture of the game, shame on you if you get locked up, right?
You're right. Well, here's a chance. If you're going to steal, you steal now. You have Cargo with 2 strikes.
He's halfway to second. He's got to go.
Keep going.
There he goes. There's no way he should be able to throw him out on that lead. That is the biggest lead. Forget right-hander or left-hander. even with a right-hander, I've never seen a larger lead. Honestly, I've never seen a larger lead in baseball than this one.
Story's off to a 20-foot lead at first base, and John still will not throw the baseball over there. Javier Baez made a very quick tag on Trevor Story, and it looks like it hit him in the knee.
Story in scoring position. 2-2 on Cargo. And a soft liner right to short. Off the end of the bat, that ends the inning. The Rockies continue to lead 1-0. For Story, his first career stolen base. Here's our Kubota pitching performance. We have to look at the whole series. Obviously, Tyler Chatwood has been brilliant today, but the tone was set by Chad Bettis on Friday night. 6 shutout innings. Then Christian Bergman in that spot start, 5 really good innings yesterday. Gave up just 2 runs, a solo home runs by Rizzo and Soler.
Rocky starters, the right-handers, and coming into the game, the Cubs were the best team in baseball facing right-handed pitchers. They have gotten on the mound, they have commanded the strike zone, pitched to both sides of the plate.
2-0 on Lester. If you're just joining us, Tyler Chatwood was perfect with 2 outs in the 5th inning, and then he lost Soler on a 3-2 pitch, gave up a single to Baez. This ball's really well hit right center field. Cargo is going to wait and have to field it off the wall. And it's a double for John Lester. So the tying run at second with nobody out. And some power from an unlikely source.
Well, this is why falling behind in the count is so important, not to fall behind. 2-0, John Lester knew he was going to have to get a pitch groove down and in to John, and he takes a very good swing at it. Carlos pretends like he's going to catch it, maybe to see if he could slow Lester down around first. That's his first career extra base hit. Not a good time for it.
He's been an American League player for most of his career. That was his 100th career at bat, and he gets his first extra base hit. Well, from his perspective, what a time for it. Be wary of the bunt here by Fowler. Ball strike. There's the bunt, and Walters. What? Oh man! Oh wow! He went right into the brick wall. There aren't many catchers quick enough to even get in the neighborhood to dive to make that play.
I don't think there's any catcher quick enough to dive and get in that play. I think Russell Martin, and Tony talks about how Russell Martin's his favorite player. Years back with the Dodgers, Russell dove into the dugout. Oh man.
You know what? And Tony, kind of said I'm fine, and Walt came out, Scotty Garrett came out, but that's one to watch because I'm telling you, he hit that thing hard. Ooh, real close to being able to ring up Dexter there. Just a little bit outside, as you see on the Subaru strike zone. So it's 2-2. And Lester at second. Doubled off the base of the wall in right center field. This is popped up, and it's shallow left center. Parra calling for it. He's got it. And that's big. No advancement for Lester. That's why I thought one-run game, as good as Chatwood has been, you may see Dexter lay down a bunt. He tried once, and then he's unable to pull the baseball on the ground. So now there's one out, and Jason Hayward will come up.
The Colorado Rockies home run for the homeless 5K is Sunday, May 8th. Go to Rockies.com/5K to register today. Great pitch by Chatty going up in the zone to get Dexter to pop up.
Out of the 2 spot in Joe Maddon's lineup, Jason Hayward. Hayward 0 for his last 10. Zobrist behind him, 0 for his last 19. Low pitch count also, given where Chatwood is in the game, been really efficient.
One of the advantages of being able to have these shifts with the left-handed hitters is that Trevor Story can play right behind second base and hold John Lester to a short lead. He is a pitcher, but even if it was a position player is not going to take a big secondary with the infielder playing that close behind second base.
Two 2-0 on Hayward. And a strike. It was his first major league swing when he came up with the Atlanta Braves at a line drive home run. Remember that?
Man, it was crazy. Everybody in baseball was saying that this guy's going to hit 500 career homers, crowning him the next Hall of Famer.
Story. And you know what? I like that for no other reason other than make the pitcher dive.
Yeah.
Make him get dirty. Make him have to
do it again.
Exert
yeah, you're exactly
energy.
Right. Exactly right.
I'm with you. Do it again. Two 2-1. 2-2.
Another great pitch inside. Two-seamer sinking back in towards the strike zone.
Look how well it's received, though, Spilly.
It's perfect. He picks it up, and instead of going down with the sinker, taking it out of the zone, he's able to raise his glove up.
Swung on and missed. 2 outs. Strikeout number 7 for Tyler Chatwood.
Throw a pitch down. The next pitch, same fastball, throw it up in the zone.
He just flat threw it by him. Ben Zobrist. Lester still standing on second. Line drive to left, fly ball to left. And a strike on Zobrist.
The tweet just said from Shannon that she believes Tony Walters is playing like Yogi Berra. I've never seen Yogi Berra catch.
They're similar in stature. Yogi was about 5'7". Walter's a little taller than that.
Oh, yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, you know, Renee Latchman's really proud of how Walters has handled himself behind the plate. Jerry Weinstein's got to look on from afar. Say, man, this kid is really doing a great job. 2-1. There's Latch. That's the longest you'll ever see Latch. He's looking through his volume of notes. Not barking at somebody. That's like a full 10 seconds.
Yep. Well, you got to give John Weil, that is the Rockies front office, player acquisition, all the credit in being able to find Tony Walters.
Absolutely. 2-1. And Zobrist again hits it in the air. Parra may not have a play here. How many times have the Rockies in this series had a player running full tilt toward a wall? Cargo a couple times, right?
But they're playing good, hard baseball.
Yeah.
And that's what's great to watch. There's nobody taking it easy. It's good, hard baseball.
Cargo preserved the no-hitter at the time with a sensational catch. Off the bat, Anthony Rizzo leading off the 5th inning. Sliding near that wall. 2-2 on Zobrist. Outside. 3-2. Anthony Rizzo, you'd like to have to deal with him in the 7th inning, not here in the 6th.
Lester's not able to get much of a secondary because of where Trevor Story is. A base hit's not going to be able to score him.
Change speeds. Zobrist is out in front. That's a nice gesture. That's a good buddy right there, huh?
Give it to his friend.
How about that? Didn't even hesitate.
There you go, buddy. Saying the kid in the Cubs jersey bought the tickets.
Center field and deep, playable for Barnes. He's got it, and the Rockies get out of that as Chatwood gets Fowler, Hayward, and Zobrist after the leadoff double by Lester. It remains 1-0. It's a sharp well-spoken guy, Michael Kadire. Well, Nolan Arenado is a sharp, well-spoken young man who hit a long ball his second time up, and that's the difference in this game right now. Hit one in the basket and left his first Wrigley Field home run. Fifth home run for Nolan this year. So it's Arenado, Parra, and Reynolds against John Lester in the top of the 7th inning. If you're wondering, Chatwood's 90 pitches in. You'd love for him to be able to go another, hand the baseball to Miguel Castro, who's been so good so far this year, and then Jake McGee in the 9th. That's I think what Walt is thinking right now, along with Steve Foster.
You're exactly right. And if this inning continues with this score, I would expect to see Tyler Chatwood. Obviously, if the Rockies come out and score a bunch of runs, maybe you'll have more leeway to go to the bullpen. But the way Tyler Chatwood's throwing, nobody's going to want to take him out of the game. Pay attention this inning. John Lester spent the entire inning on the field. The guys have been trying their best to give him a little break.
2 strikes on Nolan. Fly ball to center field in that home run.
Before the start of this inning, David Ross went out to John Lester and just talked to him, trying to slow it down. He didn't get a chance to drink water or anything.
I got to ask you a question after this pitch. This is lined, and it's caught by Ben Zobrist, who's positioned perfectly, 1 out. He's not a quarterback, man. It's not like they got 75 plays he's got to go through. What is David Ross looking at on his sleeve? I mean, you got fastball, you got cutter, curveball. What is on his sleeve that he just looked at? Is it scouting reports?
I can't tell. It looks like it's just the Cubs emblem.
No, he flipped it up.
He flipped it up?
Underneath their notes of somebody. He's got to be scouting reports, right? Just a reminder. I have not seen that before. Have you?
No.
Parra is 0 for 2. All right, trips right, 72 fly. On two, ready, break. I hadn't seen that.
What is under that card?
It's classified.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll destruct after he reads it.
Perhaps. 2-2.
I used to put players' cards, baseball cards, in guys' hats and then say, emulate this guy today.
Wow, with 2 strikes, Parra tries to bunt his way on, and he's gone. That counts as a strikeout. You don't see that frequently. You know who would do that once in a while was D. Gordon. I'm sure he still does it occasionally, but Parra tried it with 2 strikes. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. 2 outs, 9 strikeouts for John Lester, and here's Mark Reynolds. Can extend the lead with 1 swing very easily.
Oh, this would be a perfect time to do it. 2 outs, Lester cruising along. Use a little more insurance.
Yeah. And he owns a home run against Lester. He owns a home run against a lot of guys. 2-0 on Mark. Rockies trying to win a season series in Chicago for the first time since 2011. They had a game rained out that year, so they won 2 ball games. The third was made up later on. 2-1. Last time they won a conventional series at Wrigley Field, 2006. 6-1 on Friday, lost 6-2 yesterday. And the breaking ball's in there for a strike. 2-2. You can see, that's outside the Subaru strike zone.
What's on there?
Zoom in. And Lester with 10 strikeouts. But the Rockies lead it 1-0. Tyler Chatwood getting ready to come back to the hill. Stretch time at Wrigley. Chatwood has allowed 3 base runners, 2 hits, and a walk. Today on the newest episode of The Club, coming up right after the ball game, we'll take you behind the lens for an all-access look into the making of the 2016 Rockies commercials. That's always a blast. A partner will catch up with Trevor Story to relive his historic opening week. And Tyler Chatwood will sit down with Mark Stout and discuss the long return to the big leagues. That's on The Club after the ball game. First pitch to Anthony Rizzo's in there, strike 1. Rizzo, Bryant, and Soler. Chatwood in the 7th, 91, now 92 pitches in. In a perfect world, he gets through very quickly to 7th. Walt hands it to Miguel Castro, who's firing bullets down in the bullpen, and then that man, Jake McGee. And if you have efficient innings, McGee would primarily get lefties at the top of the lineup in the 9th inning.
It's exactly how you would draw it up for a series win in Chicago. And you got to tip your cap to Tyler Chatwood. What the Rockies starting staff has been able to do the last couple games since Jorge De La Rosa's start on Thursday against the Giants is eat up innings, go deeper into the game, allowing the bullpen not to have to get more than 9 outs.
1-2, and that's fouled off by Rizzo. The other thing it would do is, again, if it plays out this way, you'd flip some of the left-handed bats potentially to the right side, because you have 2 switch hitters near the top in Dexter and Ben Zobrist. That's no pitch. Time was called and granted that time by Rizzo. Earlier when Soler backed out, time was not granted, and pitch was right down the middle for a strike. One-two, and it's popped up. DJ waving his arms, and he makes the catch, 1 out.
Fans, April 28th is Weather and Science Day. Come and enjoy a pregame educational program featuring Colorado State University 9 News and Spangler Science. Register today by calling 303 Rockies. Kavnar needs to be at that thing. Keep talking about how she doesn't understand how to use a Doppler.
Went down to like double Doppler, triple Doppler. Bryant fouls that back, 0-1. So Chris Bryant, since his 1-year anniversary is today, in the year he has spent at the big league level, has hit 28 home runs, 4th most in the National League. You know who's number 1?
Nope.
Guy who plays right field for the Rockies has hit 42 during that time frame. Guy who plays third base for the Rockies has hit 41 during that time frame. Bryce Harper has hit a few more, and then Chris Bryant with the 28. 1-2 on the Las Vegas native. 1 out in the 7th. And a ground ball cut off by Nolan to first. Got him. Wow. Routine, I guess, for him.
There's not a better third baseman in baseball that's able to go outside of the zone. Defensive metrics showed Nolan Arenado outside of the zone metrics. He's the best. And that's a ball after he makes that pirouette, turn, and throw. He looks at Trevor Story and goes, "My bad. Sorry, I just like to get the baseball."
And this is lobbed into shallow center. Barnes will get there. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning in the 7th for Tyler Chatwood. What a ball game for the Southern California native. 1-0 Rockies off to the 8th. As the Rockies lead 1-0, Tyler Chatwood, 7 shutout innings. He's had 100 pitches. Who wants tacos? Fans follow at @root_sports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more in a ball game. Bottom third of the order for the Rockies against John Lester in the top of the 8th inning. This will be the final inning of work for Lester regardless. He's due up third next inning. And Tyler Chatwood visiting with Jorge De La Rosa in the dugout. Man, you look good today. Yeah, don't I? Two hits and a walk. That's all that Chatwood has allowed. Curveball for a strike on Brandon Barnes. Fly ball to left field and a called strike 3 on Barnes. Not like Lester's been chopped liver, folks. He's allowed only 4 hits. He struck out 10. He's walked only 1. And there's a bunt attempt by Barnes. Lester, oh my goodness, that's an awful throw. And called out. It finally got there, and I guess with the stretch by Rizzo, Barnes is out. That may be the worst throw to first by a pitcher that I've ever seen. And that's why it's a good play by Barnes. Make him have to throw the baseball.
Stop the clock.
Bunt again on him.
We've been mentioning it the entire day. And he is out.
I gotta watch this again. I'm not sure.
Oh,
we gotta.
man.
Can we stop it right? See when it goes in the glove. Well, the Rockies didn't challenge it. Ball one on Tony Walters.
I don't think he was going to win it.
No.
No. Subaru Supremo has it.
After that throw, you got to lay down another bunt, don't you?
Just do it right at him.
Ryan Rayburn on deck to pinch hit for Chatwood. Good eye. Walters a base hit in the third and then tried to bunt his way on. Unfortunately, he bunted it in the air and Lester was able to catch it. Bryant's on the grass at third. Ball three.
Hey, that's amazing. He has almost pinpoint control. And he can't throw the ball to first base.
Here's another first. The throw was so awful that the official score on the in-house loudspeaker, that's a strike, had already announced E1. How about that?
I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff today. Stuff I haven't seen before.
That was the ball that got out of the bullpen. That happens here quite a bit. Here you go. This is why, folks, you can run on John Lester, because he literally, he's got a mental block throwing to first base, whether it's at the stretch or fielding a bunt. Three and two. And Walters earns a walk. And now the Rockies have a situation where they can run again. You got Rayburn coming to the plate with one out. And Joe Madden, he knows what the Rockies are going to plot and plan here, and he's going to make a move.
He's asking if Barnes has been announced yet.
Or Rayburn.
Or Rayburn.
And it's interesting because if not for the inability of John Lester to hold runners, he stays in the game with the stuff he has in the pitch count. Back in a moment. Seven shutout innings. As he hands it over to the bullpen. First, the Rockies are still on offense. John Lester was terrific as well, 7 1/3. The only blemish, a home run he allowed to Nolan Arenado in the 4th. Now with a 1-out walk to Tony Walters. And again, his inability to hold runners. Joe Maddon goes to the former Yankee Adam Warren. And the Rockies have Ryan Rayburn pinch hitting here in the 8th.
Warren was acquired by the Cubs from the Yankees in a Starlin Castro deal. Castro was the Cubs' everyday shortstop until he lost his position to Addison Russell.
Warren's got good stuff. He worked out of the bullpen and as a starter last year with the Yankees. 4-pitch mix as a starter. A lot of times pitchers coming out of the bullpen, Spilly, will eliminate a pitch. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Primarily he'll be a fastball slider guy, you'd think, out of the pen. Rayburn, a big cut. 2-1. Lester looking on. Walters at first base with good wheels. LeMahieu on deck. Outside, 1-1 on Ryan Rayburn. Snap, throw, safe.
Well, Ross has already thrown out 2 Rockies base runners. That's a fastball away where he's able to make a quick throw to first base. Walters, you're supposed to slide to the back part of the bag to make it harder for Rizzo to be able to tag you. On the Subaru Supermo, Walters is trying to get around Rizzo. And as we're watching this replay, so is Joe Maddon, waiting to figure out if he's going to challenge that throw or not. Okay, are you going to challenge or what?
No, we'll resume without a challenge. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Rayburn.
If you're Tony Walters at first, this is a situation where you're looking for a ball down in the zone where you can anticipate a dirt ball with 2 strikes, and now you can take your chances, steal second.
So Adam Warren, as you said, came to the Starlin Castro deal from the Yankees. You know, he found out he's on vacation with his wife in St. Lucia in the Caribbean. They're at a restaurant dining. There's a TV over the bar. He sees the crawl go across the lower portion of whatever sporting event was on. Cubs and Yankees have made a deal.
Really cool. Oh, my name's in it. I'm gonna guess he ordered a margarita right after that.
I'll have another Mai Tai, and this ball launched foul. That's getting the barrel out, Spilly.
That's what you want to do with that pitch. Live Rockies baseball is back in 2016 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Well, a swing like that will just prevent another pitch in that same location from Warren.
Outside.
Rayburn took probably the best at bat yesterday against Jake Arrieta. grinding at a bat in the 5th inning. Pulled a couple of the pitches way foul down the left field line. It's Clayton Richard warming up.
Slowly hit to third. Bryant's only got one play. That's at first. Walters to scoring position with 2 outs for LeMahieu. Did Anthony miscount?
I think so. He was ready for the inning to be over. Swinging bunt by Rayburn. Chris Bryant does a good job with the exchange. I can tell watching Rayburn running down the first baseline, he's not 100%.
And Rizzo's 100% certain that he's going to the dugout. Anthony, we're going to play 3 outs this half inning.
That's how many we always play, buddy.
So DJ 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts against John Lester, now facing the right-hander Adam Warren. How large would a knock be here for DJ? Rockies up 1-0 on a 4th inning home run by Nolan Arenado.
Well, DJ always talks about how he loves to get hits against his former team. The revenge at bat.
Yeah,
this would be a perfect revenge at bat right here.
And typically he has done that against the Cubs. He had over 500 against Chicago pitching last year. Oh for 8 in the series. Here's the 0-1. Tyler Chatwood sitting next to Gerardo Parra. Parra's always entertaining, isn't he? He has fun. He had a quote. We read it on the air. He goes, when it was Parra for president, he said, "This is what I institute. Have fun. You got to have fun always." Inside 1-2, and he does.
He was teasing. He said, "You have to have fun" is one of the first things he's going to do as president, and number 2, he's going to make Stu Cole run laps around the field.
Probably not going to get Stu's vote then.
But John Lester's not going to.
1-2. Foul tip held, and that'll end the inning. So Warren strikes out LeMahieu. Walters left at second. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Miguel Castro to the mound. The Rockies up 1-0. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. And by StubHub, looking for great seats? Head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborgh's Tracy Ringlesby at Wrigley Field on a glorious Sunday afternoon. The Rockies leading 1-0. The story of the game. Tyler Chatwood, 7 shutout innings. He was perfect into the 5th inning, and he gets a big bear hug from his buddy Carlos Gonzalez. He's done after 7 innings of 2-hit baseball. He walked only 1, and Chatwood struck out 7. Just a gorgeous performance by Chatwood. And now Miguel Castro, the youngest man in the National League, will take the baseball. He was the youngest man in the American League last year when he started out as the closer for Toronto, and that early experience has to benefit him here late in the ball game on the road. Wrigley Field, sellout crowd, the vaunted Cubs expected to do great things. It's got to help this year.
It has to help, and last year 4 saves in April with the Toronto Blue Jays. He also had some failure in that role, so he understands what is important in being able to be successful in these type of roles.
First pitch misses to Javier Baez, and it's 1-0. 7, 8, and 9 in the Cubs lineups. David Ross is on deck, and now they've replaced him with Tommy La Stella. This is a ground ball, slowly hit, and DJ handles it flawlessly. 1 out. So La Stella's going to hit for Ross, and then you get another pinch hit, probably Miguel Montero behind him. And there's Miggy.
Miguel's batting right now.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, they changed it, so Montero's going to bat right now.
Rockies do not have a lefty warming up in their bullpen. This is Castro's inning. They are not going to play matchups with the Cubs. Righty versus lefty. This is you, Castro. Go get him.
Miguel started behind the plate on Friday night. Ross started yesterday. And then he always catches John Lester, so he was behind there today. 1-0 on Montero. Just off the plate outside at 94. It's 2-0. Rockies have Trevor Story right up the middle. And that's a slider for a strike, 2-1. Threw it by him at 94, 2-2.
Well, versus left-handed batters, Miguel is going to work primarily with the fastball and the slider. Occasional changeup he will show to the lefties. Right-handers he will not throw the changeup to.
Castro, after visiting with the rosin bag, looks in at Tony Walters. 2-2 on Miguel Montero. Wicked slider too far inside. 3-2. Johnny La Stella's on deck.
Wind still seems to be blowing in. Almost working its way from right field to left field.
It's like a fastball away. Here's the 3-2. He's got him, 2 outs. Dialed up 96.
The slider inside at 2-2 sets up the fastball away 3-2, and that is just easy cheese. You see that arm whip that Castro has, and the ball explodes out of his hand.
Kind of the Stella's walk-up song, little Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. How about that? Here's the Stella inside ball one. Two outs, nobody on in the 8th inning. And a nice pickup there by Reynolds. Miguel's over there, and it's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Miguel Castro. Well done. We'll go to the 9th. The Rockies ahead of the Cubs, 1-0 at Wrigley. Thank you much. Miguel Montero obviously stays in the game. He pinch hit for David Ross, and Justin Grimm will take the mound here in the top of the 9th inning. 27-year-old on for the 5th time this year. And the Rockies will have Trevor Story, Carlos Gonzalez, Nolan Arenado, 2, 3, and 4. And their very strong lineup. Trevor, 1 for 2 and a walk. He has a stolen base, his first career stolen base.
Justin Grimm, a teammate of mine in 2012, and I spent it with the Texas Rangers. Works primarily fastball, curveball. Has a fantastic curveball.
Bounces off the glove inside ball one. There's Cargo getting ready to go. Grimm from Tennessee.
There's the curveball.
Another called strike. And again, if you're looking at Subaru strike zone, you say, boy, it's seen a lot of pitches off the plate, east and west, call for a strike. Carapazza has been consistent. He's given, an inch or so on either side of the black, seemingly, throughout the ballgame to both pitchers. And a strikeout of Story at 95. 1 out. And that'll bring up Cargo. Carr goes 0 for 3, 21-game hitting streak on the line. Sharp ground ball to short. He struck out on a 3-2 pitch and hit a soft liner to short. Shift is on for the Cubs.
Yeah, looking at the shift, Carlos Gonzalez always has a tough decision, especially in this point of the game where one more run would make a huge difference. Do you want to take a chance and bunt one towards third base? And at the same time, we know Carlos Gonzalez loves to hit at Wrigley. He has 9 homers in his career.
Yeah, at this juncture, you'd rather see him take 3 rips and see if he can make it 2-0.
I would rather see him take 3 rips and see it 2-0.
1-2. There's been only one 1-0 game between these two clubs. It was back in July of 1993, inaugural season for the Rockies. Willie Blair outpitched that day by Mike Morgan, who threw a 5-hit shutout.
It's no secret Justin Grimm is going to throw either a fastball or curveball. Works it for righties and lefties.
3-2. Nolan's on deck. Jake McGee been thrown in the Rockies pen. He's just spectating right now. He's ready to go. And he went back to the breaking ball and he strikes out Carlos. 2 outs. Look carefully. This is the entire offense for either team today. A solo home run into the basket, and for Nolan it's the first time he's hit a home run at Wrigley Field.
Won't be the last. Hopefully not the last one today either.
Yeah, it will not be the last, and I'm with you. I want to get the second one right here. Fouled off. Jake McGee will face the top of the Cubs order in the 9th. Dexter Fowler will have to flip around and bat right-handed. Jason Hayward, a left-handed hitter, and then another switch hitter in Ben Zobrist. After that, and hopefully it doesn't go after that, but would pit Anthony Rizzo against McGee. Up and in. 2-1. You called it. You saw him when you were playing with him when he was a kid coming up with the Rangers. That's a good breaking ball.
It's a fantastic breaking ball. And with 2 strikes, he uses it 84% of the time. You don't want to ever come off the fastball. The fastball is at 95 miles an hour, but when you look at that curveball, you almost have to sit and look for it at this point.
Well, there it is, down low. And it's a hard curveball. Those curveballs average 76, 77 miles an hour. His coming in at 83, 84.
Chad Bettis, by contrast, has looked to take more miles an hour off of his curveball. His curveball last year was 75 miles an hour, and this year it's averaging 68 miles an hour.
(3-2). And this ball in the air, deep left field, way back. He did it again. Nolan Arenado makes it 2-0. Just as we asked. A no-doubter into the bleachers.
Well, now that he's 25, he's growing into his body and his power.
Home run number 6. How large is this?
3-2 fastball inside. He goes away from his bread and butter, which is his curveball, and Nolan makes him pay. You cannot throw the ball inside to Nolan. He will make you pay.
Had a tweet earlier from somebody comparing Nolan, as we were doing the other day on the air. I think Huey was upstairs with us, to Vinny Castilla. And it used to be, you can't sneak the cheese by the rat. And I'll tell you what, he's the same guy. You cannot beat him with heat on the inner half. Couldn't beat Vinny, and you can't beat this third baseman.
He is so quick inside.
And Parra strikes out on that curveball. Grimm strikes out the side, but Nolan got him on a 3-2 fastball. 2 solo home runs for Arenado. And now Jake McGee, when we come back, will try to close it out. For Nolan Arenado, and the Rockies are 3 outs away from shaking hands as we check the CenturyLink What's Next. Rockies next are off to Cincinnati. 3-game set, television Monday, Tuesday, no TV in the day game on Wednesday. Thursday's an off day, and the Rockies have a 7-game homestand. The Dodgers come a-calling, Clint Hurdle, and the Pirates are in town for 4 dates. And then back on the road, a West Coast swing of 10 days. Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco for 4. Jake McGee, the Rockies closer, is on. Joe Maddon knows him well. They visited the other day. Of course, Jake came up and pitched for Joe Maddon the first few years in his big league career. Dexter Fowler in from the right side. Dexter 0 for 3. And he hits one sharply. What a pickup by Story. Out at first base. What a play by Story. Everybody bragging on his offense. He has made a couple spectacular plays already with the glove. None better than that one.
That is the best play I've seen Trevor Story make in his short career. That is a top spin, hard hit ball by Dexter Fowler. He's able to slide with it, reach behind him, and then the pick and turn to get rid of it with a quick release. Fantastic play.
How about
Nolan was fired up.
Yeah, he was celebrating already. Jake McGee fired up. That was outstanding. Wow. Here's Hayward, breaking ball. Take that, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 downstairs.
Wow. It's a fantastic play. Last thing you want is a leadoff batter getting on. One swing of the bat and it's a tie game.
I still can't believe he made that play. This ball's roped to the corner in right. Hayward's going to get at least 2 out of it. Now think about how large that play is. Dexter's probably going to score on that. It's 2-1 time run with nobody out at second base.
Jason Hayward has not got off to a very good start for the Chicago Cubs. That pitch is low. He's short to the ball and is able to pull it down the right field line. Cargo, knowing that you do not want Hayward to be able to get to third base, gets it in real nice and quick. It's a good throw to DJ. Keeps him at second base.
Ben Zobrist at the plate. Hayward and Zobrist were combined 0 for 13 before that double by Hayward in this series. Inside ball 1. That's foul.
Not by much.
Not by much, as McGee is taking on his former teammate Ben Zobrist.
McGee said Madden always makes sure to get a call-up, an opportunity to play in the very first game that he's in the big leagues. Jake McGee's first at bat, he faced Derek Jeter with the bases loaded. Welcome to the big leagues.
"11 years a big league skipper, so many great seasons in Tampa. 42 years in professional baseball for Joe Madden. Second here on the north side of Chicago. 1-1. This ball's lifted to deep left field. Parra going back, hoping for a play, and he's got one. 2 outs. I can hear the collective sigh in the Rocky Mountain region. 2 outs in the 9th, 2-0 Rockies.
Vin Scully always says fans see the ball in the air with their heart.
It's a great line. One of about 50,000 great lines from Vin through the years. And now it's Anthony Rizzo. Rockies employ the shift as they've done throughout the series with Rizzo. Hayward at second, 2 outs. We're in the 9th at Wrigley. And McGee reaches back for a little something extra at 96, but it was outside ball 1.
Anthony Rizzo stands very close to home plate. In this at bat, he looks like he's almost closer. There's no plate to throw at.
No, he gets hit more than anybody in baseball. His hands are right over the middle of the plate. He had a home run hack there. We talk about the composure of Miguel Castro, 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. Jake McGee's more of a veteran guy. How about the puppy behind the plate, man? He didn't expect to be in the big leagues when he was picked up by the Rockies. Tony Walters has been terrific. Watching the feet of Rizzo. And now he flashes multiple signs with a runner at second base. 1-1 the count. And Rizzo gets hit. So now the winning run will come up in Chris Bryant, who burned the Rockies a year ago. That just flat got away from him. This is the guy you wanted, left on left. And he threw a lollipop curveball that never had a chance.
Even with Rizzo being right on top of home plate, that curveball would have hit him in a normal spot where left-handers stand. 30 hit by pitch in the last couple of years. That's incredible.
Bryant, as I said last year, walked off the Rockies with a home run. Let it not repeat itself here. He's 0 for 3. Pulled foul.
Some healthy swings so far this inning against Jake McGee. Yeah. Jason Hayward pulled a football foul. Dexter Fowler with the hard hit ball to Trevor Story.
Yeah, you took my thought away, because they've had the best swings of the game by far. Multiple quality swings in this inning, more so than at any point in the game. You could add everything up prior to this and it wouldn't add up to the 4 or 5 real good hacks they've had against Jake McGee here in the ninth. And now the tying run. Rizzo comes off, and it's Matt Caesar. Oh, and 1 on Bryant. Bryant a pop-up in the second inning, a strikeout, and a ground ball to third. 0 for 3. On the 1-year anniversary of his call up to the big leagues. Sellout crowd of nearly 42,000, all standing. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2.
Up in the zone is where you want to attack Chris Bryant. Has an uppercut down in the bottom of the zone. Not a good pitch. Up in the zone. That is out of the strike zone, and he chases. But that is why the high velocity of Jake McGee is so important. That gives him a larger margin of error. And it forces a hitter to guess or swing at pitches that he wouldn't normally go after.
Outfield exceptionally deep. 1-2 with 2 outs in the ninth. Got him, and the Rockies win it 2-0. Jake McGee punches out Chris Bryant, and the Rockies take 2 of 3 in Chicago and cool off one of the hottest teams in baseball. What a day for Nolan Arenado.